Yeah, we should talk about Jesus taking your wheel.
Y'all.
That car wreck you had.
Shock talking his back. And Camille is calling me out.
Well, yeah, I drive everywhere because I worry about this girl's driving. I'm just
That
saying.
is not the reason why.
Oh,
However,
okay.
Thank Jesus for Kelly. I mean for Kelly.
Tracy. Yeah.
For Tracy, your husband, because this is what I did.
This was crazy.
If
I could show you a picture, y'all. Oh my God, a picture says 1,000 words. I don't know how the fuck she did this, but she jacked her car up so bad. She was high centered on a curb. It's just a phenomenon. I mean, we're
all some research.
Yeah.
So here's what happened. I'm out in this neighborhood. I need to move. I'm looking for a house, right?
Yeah.
And I'm having my moment with Jesus. I'm praying over this house, and it's daytime.
Yeah.
You know, and all the workers are out there.
Even daytime.
People, it's a whole new subdivision, so there's a million people out there. So I'm feeling a little self-conscious because there's so many workers, and I'm trying to do my crystal. I'm trying to pray and whatever, and I'm just like, God, I'm on display. So I go around, and I just take a little U-turn. And nobody's coming.
Yeah.
My water bottles drops.
My water broke.
Drops on the floorboard, and I reach down to pick it up that fast.
See? See? Can't do that.
I'm high-centered. And I look, and these are all lots on a hill. And I'm like, please, wind, don't blow me down the hill.
That's insane. That's kind of scary.
So I sat there for an hour trying to figure out what to do.
You call me.
No. So I'm thinking all these construction people are driving by. There's bobcats. There's all kinds of shit over there to help me. Nobody.
Well, you're not out there with your leg up. I mean, come on. You could have been getting a little attention.
But then Jesus goes, no, Gretchen, you don't need somebody to drag you out of this like in a trunk because I'm stuck, y'all. My belly of my car is stuck on this concrete, and I would scrape that.
Yeah.
So then Jesus told me to call Camille. And you sent your husband.
I'm the solution to the problem.
I know. She's like, God, woman, leave me alone. If it's not your life problem, now you got a car problem.
No.
But you sent your sweet ass husband out to help me. And they did. They literally had to.
Yeah, he had to.
And he came home.
Hydraulic going. He's like, you're from now on, you're driving. Don't let her drive. He didn't say that.
No, and then the miracle of it all really was there's no damage to my tires, my
Isn't
car,
that amazing?
nothing.
Thank you, God.
And I would see people, because I sat across the street while Tracy and Chris did their magic, you know, and I'd see people drive by and they're just staring and gawking. I was like, hey.
You could have helped.
It could have happened to you too if your water bottle fell.
Your water broke.
You know what's funny is that I got rear-ended one time because somebody dropped a drink.
Really?
And that's the same thing that just happened to me. Yeah.
Can I tell you something? Can I tell you just this? This is the weirdest thing.
Well,
I don't think I told you this.
Leaning back. That's
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something kind of weird. No, I've been at this stoplight, and the last two. I'm scared to go to this one stoplight, y'all.
Really?
I have been at the stoplight twice, and every time I'm at the stoplight, like the first time this was happening 2 months ago, I got rear-ended. This dingbat. I'm rear-ended by this dingbat lady.
Yeah.
I'm getting a fix still, whatever. And then the next time I was at the exact same spot, I get a phone call, and one of my dear friends of 20 years died that morning.
What the hell? Where is
I'm never going to this Vortex stop sign ever again, I swear. It's on Highland Drive and like 3400 South. I'm never going there again.
No.
I'm seriously, I'm afraid to. I'm thinking, what it's going to... That is like I think that's like a
that area anyway?
Bermuda Triangle energy or something. Oh. Well, there's a TJ Maxx up there, and there's a Harmon's. I mean, I do like to
see y'all. She gets on my back, my ass about going to Urban or where do I
Urban
go?
Or Ultra.
Ultra.
No, the makeup hoarder. I mean, she's a makeup hoarder.
Some Urban Cafe lip.
She's just trying to get her addiction on me now. That's what she's doing.
You know,
but that is the vortex. I'm thinking that is like a Bermuda Triangle of Salt Lake City for me. I can't go to that stop sign again. I've got PTSD.
There's a reason for but you know what? You and I both believe that there are signs that angels above are telling us stop or do this or whatever.
It's true. I
do not go there.
I was like, it was crazy. This is the second time I'm like, what are the chances?
Right.
So
and it was in a quick amount of time.
Maybe I'll go there again just
stop it.
Just attempt it. Now I'm curious. I wonder, will it? Will it do it again?
You better take my piece of shit car then.
I might be in a
not that one.
I'll take the rental. I'm going to have a rental. That's what I'm going to have.
I know.
It's going to fix
this
week.
I wanted to ask you because I hear a lot about
manifesting
your goals, your dreams, your desires. Is that meditation? What does that mean?
You know, I'll tell you, you ever heard of The Secret, that video that came out? Okay, it was a big deal for a long time. My only thing with that, I loved it, great, positive, it leaves you feeling high, I swear. But here's the thing about, from my understanding of manifesting in life, you tend to get what you are. So you can't, I want. It doesn't kind of work that way. So vibration equals vibration. Does that make sense? So you kind of tend to attract what you are already. And so we mirror things going on in our universe. If you want to manifest a higher vibration to you or a different manifestation, here's something interesting. There's a book of Isaiah, okay? And it's actually the only, when they found the Dead Sea Scrolls and they found this original Bible intact, you know, there was one scroll only, the only one scroll left intact, and it's called the book of Isaiah.
Okay.
And it's how to pray. It's what it's about, it's how to pray. You pray as if it's already occurred. You pray as if you already have what you want.
So you pray in thankfulness?
You pray and you thank the universe for already having this, what you want. But Albert Einstein was really big on manifestation. He was really big on imagination. So there, in the quantum physics and in science realms that I've studied a little bit, there isn't like a linear time really happening. We think it is because it seems like that's first, second, third. It's all kind of happening at once. So, you know, the future, when you think about the future, that means the future is happening right now. So, like, think about your future. That means that you're in the future right now, experiencing the future right now. You think about the past, you're in the past, thinking about the past, experiencing the past again. So, when you think about the future, you want to, when I do goal planning with people, I have them pull their calendar and I say, go to December of this year, go to December 2018. I want you to go to December and look backward in time and tell me what you want to have in December, and then we're going to go, how did you get that? What did you do in July? What did you do in August? What did you do in September and October to get you this result in December? So you literally kind of put yourself in the future looking backward, and then you kind of see things differently. But you can, like, you do want to kind of project yourself into a future reality.
So when you say somebody has a goal or a dream or you know, some idea that they want, do you take the time? Because I've just started studying this, and and I don't know if my upbringing in my religion from the South, like, you just you never did anything unless it was to God.
Right.
And what I've learned is God comes in, God
a lot of
speaks
ways.
in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
God reveals himself in a lot of ways.
That's right.
God has angels, messengers,
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot going on.
Well, there's no limit. I mean, you know, one thing about you, honey, that I always knew, and I always got was how disciplined you are, how obedient you are. And if you believe something, I mean, I watch you, I mean, you do not vary off of what you know to do and correctly do it. That is you to a T. Like, one of the top 3 words of defining you would be obedient. So that's self-control, and that's very impressive. And that is your devotion to God. So I watched you do that. And
Did you see the lights?
yes.
They celebrated.
They went, yeah, that's right. We like that about her. But so, and that's why I know if you give your word, your promises are kept, you know.
Yeah.
So I know that about you, so I trust you. So, but there's been, I think, a little breakdown in freedom for you around researching and dealing with other realms of creation for yourself, you know.
Well, I think religion, especially if you grow up in it, it becomes, it thinks for you, right? You don't exactly sit back and go,
That's right.
does this make sense? Does this work in my life? And I don't mean like, is God real or not? I just mean like maybe the ways, you know, I was so, even though I was raised in 7 denominations, I was very centered and focused on a certain way.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really until I kind of think being around you a lot that, you know, I got to thinking, okay, when the Indians, you know, were flourishing here, and particularly North America, well, you know, they had all kinds of ways of worshiping and praising and getting their crops and you know,
their rituals
was a lot.
Yeah, that's right. And we are a society of rituals, by the way.
Right.
But the power of myth, I mean, the power of belief is real. I mean, if you believe something, I don't know if you saw the movie, I think Mel Gibson or maybe Clint Eastwood, I can't remember, but it was Hacksaw Ridge. True story about a soldier who wouldn't carry a weapon.
Yeah.
But he was,
He protected all of those soldiers.
And he was throwing bodies, live soldiers and stuff off this ridge and saving them, and it was a miracle. And he wasn't going to stop until he was physically forced to stop. But, at the end of the movie, his brother, said, that is no joke. When you are under conviction and you believe so strongly about something, it is, you're the universe,
Right.
Its word matches, it's either, what even, it's like the world matches your word. Okay?
But how does that work with evil?
Well, with what it is desire. Okay, it isn't necessarily evil.
No, I'm saying, what if you have somebody that is evil that goes, I wish they fail in their business?
It works because it's their desire. Desire is what manifests. Okay, you want something bad enough. Your thoughts are things. You project your desires and your wishes and your wants that bad. Think of a drug addict. Think of someone who's jonesing for something. They are the most resourceful people on the planet. Okay, they can find something to sell or steal or buy, or they will find a way to get those drugs. Okay. So it is the desire that propels that action. So it isn't really about good or evil. I mean, we think, I've been good, I should be blessed, I should this, I should that. That ain't how it works. People create something because they believe they are entitled, or they want it that bad, they're going to make it happen.
But when does karma come around and slap those people on the ass because they're evil?
Well, I think good question. I mean, that's a question I want to ask God, right?
Dear God.
But I do think that there is
because
a
they
season.
can't win always.
Well, some people do. I mean, some people have. They get away with murder, and maybe they get caught, and eventually they end up on death row. But look, there's a time and a season for everything. I do believe that, and I don't think that in a span of 80 years, there's going to be a season to win, a season to lose. People are going to go through all those cycles.
Right.
But if you've got someone with that kind of pathology, and all they want is what they want, look, I know a guy that's been on crack cocaine since a head injury. He was in a horrible, good-looking, great developer, and he was a sexiest guy ever, I swear to God. But he literally was paralyzed on one half of his body, and he's on crack cocaine. He has been probably for 30 years. He knows how to get it, where to get it. It's very predictable, very reliable. He lives for that because it helps his brain get back to normal, he thinks. Whatever, and no one's going to talk him out of that. So he's just created a life that works around that for him.
Wow.
Abandon his children, abandon his wife, but that's what he's doing to say, in his world, live in his world. He hates his body.
What was I just going to say?
But desire is, the word is desire. Like people that have that strong desire, they make shit happen.
Oh, vision boards. Do you believe in those?
Absolutely. But the vision board is only as good as your ability to put yourself in the vision. So when when I goal plan with someone, like I did this today, actually, right before I sat down with you, on the phone, I had this client, and I said, look, never been married, beautiful lady, very successful. And I said, what if I said to you, you're going to meet your man in November? What if he's coming? Tell me what you got to get fixed or handled, or what do you need to work through, because he's coming in November. Oh, well, I want to pay these taxes, and I want to get this, and I want to lose all this stuff. So she's got a list of stuff that's in the way, okay? Her dream is to be married and have a family one day. She can't have that because she's got this list of stuff that she's got to have done, fixed, before he's even going to be able to come in her space. She keeps this stuff in between her and that reality, right?
Yeah, but don't you think we all?
That's my point. We all do that. So you have to really be able to see your way through to that image. Basketball players, athletes, professional athletes. Even in the Big Lebowski, he was laying down listening to the bowling thing, and I mean, we really do see the win, see the hoops, swish, swish. Like you're constantly projecting that win, even if they're golfing every day or they're whatever every day. That visualization is so powerful, and the mind does not always know the difference between the physical visualization and the actual manifestation on the court.
Right.
So, but what you have to be willing to do is know that it's possible. There's no doubt. If you believe you can have something, you can have it. If you have a doubt, then that doubt will hold it back. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. If there's a fear of it, if you're confronted by something, then that is going to block it from happening. We live our lives to never, think of the past pain. I'm never going through that again, whatever that is. Mm-hmm. We live our life to avoid those bad experiences, and they block future.
What do you tell to your clients that feel that they're not worthy of getting whatever
they want? Mm-hmm. That they're right, they won't get it. I mean, so I look at them and I say, well, if that's where you're stuck, like this is where your belief is, you believe you can't help it, you probably won't. Now, what's it going to take to, re-engineer those thought processes? First of all, you got to confront it, address it and work through it. And why is that? How is believing you should never have that a good idea? I know that sounds really weird. It's reverse psychology in a way, but that's how people start processing and understanding themselves of why they created it, how they created it.
Right. Is that why people get stuck in the same relationships?
Oh, yeah.
Again and again and again.
That's called a quandary. A quandary is you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's like, if I leave, I'm going to go through this. If I stay, and it's not that bad, I have to leave. People do get stuck, but that's because they don't want to do the work to get out of it.
But I mean, say somebody got divorced and they find the same person they just got divorced from.
Because they're the same person. They're the same exact person. And I'll tell you something. Look, we can spot a villain. We can look at relationships and go, oh, that guy's an asshole, or he's a villain, or she's a bitch, or whatever. That person with him is usually more passive, usually more accepting. They need that kind of person to motivate them. You got to look at why that works, that dynamic, why that works for those people. Yeah.
Because sometimes I think you look.
Where's your microphone? Are you shitting me?
Wait, no, it's here. Oh, it's down in my belly. Remember we took a picture.
This probably isn't going to work.
Trust you me, I haven't been talking much. Don't worry about it.
Well, I hope the hell.
It's okay.
I'm so glad I saw that.
I know.
We've only been going about 18 minutes.
Trust me, I've only been talking about 3 of those minutes.
Okay.
No, but what I wanted to ask you is, oh hell, did it leave my mind? When will
fuck you doing with that microphone down your tit?
Because when we took that picture, I didn't want it in there. It was like my big old grasshopper.
I have mine there. I can go.
When people are like, when they're coming out of an abusive situation, say a child was abused and they're growing into being an adult, they have a mindset maybe they haven't overcome.
Absolutely.
How do you help them become successful in life?
Well, you have to help them see what they decided at the point of trauma. Oh, people aren't trustworthy. I can't trust people. They're always going to hurt me. You have to help them sort through. If their your results are usually a direct relation to your beliefs. Okay, and people that go through trauma, they need pain relief. They either get on alcohol, drugs, something like that. They get on some sort of painkiller. So that's what happens when people have early childhood trauma.
Wow,
they're screwed up. Wow. They're in pain.
Which I'm telling you, that goes back to our prison conversation because.
Yeah, and
I do think if there was swifter things that happen with the courts, and then once they get into prison, just let it loose.
Well, and you should know that 90.
I just think you would set a precedence for people that are out in the free world going, maybe I'm going to get help, or maybe I'm not going to do that, or maybe I'm going to choose something else. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you. But those people don't give a shit. They want what they want. They just have. They turn people into objects. But let me tell you something. 90%. I think it's a high 90% of people on death row were foster kids.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
but what did Ted Bundy say about? What did he say about people in prison that are porn addicts? What was his? Remember, he had something. I don't know if it was most. Murders, rapists. I don't remember what he said, but the majority in his prison in Florida were addicted to porn.
They were. A lot of them had porn issues, Well, and this is, look, if you're a porn addict, you're objectifying bodies. I mean, that's what the whole thing is. But even when you kill someone, you're killing a body. You're not killing a person. How the mind, rationalizes that is you don't see what you're up to, really. You're just, it's like an object. People objectify human beings, period, and then it doesn't bother them.
I was going to say, is that
that's
why they
how
don't
Nazi
have a
Germany?
conscience?
Well, they may have a conscience, but they're not conscious of that they're killing human beings. They were killing, in Nazi Germany, they were killing Jews, and to them, what do Jews mean to them, right?
Right.
But that's people get objectifying, and they make it mean something that it doesn't matter. Islam. I mean, some of those. The people that are mass murderers and stuff, if you're not part of their religion, you're an infidel. An infidel is like a goat. And they can, you do whatever you want to a goat because it's not, not valuable. Wow. It's property.
Wow.
So they're objectifying and it's property and so you're less than human, really.
Have you ever had to work with somebody that thinks that way?
And and you don't get very far. Yeah.
How do you keep your tongue in control?
I know that I'm in danger if I don't, frankly. I don't want to.
You don't want to piss them off.
Well, I'm in trouble if I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll get myself out of that situation.
Have you ever been
Drug addicts, alcohol.
confessions? Here we go.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a situation where you think, I need to end this because this is not safe?
Yeah.
I need this person out of my office.
I used to do parties, and I would go to parties and do psychic readings on 20, 30 people, whatever. I mean, it was an all-nighter thing. It was fun. It was a handful of money, but when I was younger, I would just go to my girlfriends' houses, and they'd just throw a party for their friends and stuff. I had this guy come in the room. It was like a room, and it was a little table set up, cardboard table and chairs. And I'm facing the door, and he comes and sits down right in front of me. And he's the last person. I think I had 20 people that night. It's a long night. I'm tired, but I have one more reading to do. And he looks at me, and I'm looking at him, and I start talking to him. He says nothing. He won't respond to me. He doesn't say a word to me. He's just looking at me, okay? And I kind of get, okay, he's tested me. He knows, he's trying to figure out if I know what I'm doing. And I look at him, and I'm looking in his eyes, and I just get the distinct impression he has killed somebody. He's killed somebody, and he wants to know if I know he's killed somebody.
Whoa! What'd you do?
I just faked my way through it, I'll be honest. I just sat there and I went, I'm not going to bring this up. I can't. I am putting my life in danger if he knows I know. He wanted to see if he was going to, I'm like a human lie detector to him, right?
Yeah.
And he was testing me to see if I was any good. And I just bullshitted my way through that hour.
She's like,
It actually
she's
wasn't
like
an hour.
the
was
psychic
probably
people,
20 minutes, yeah.
Like in Venice Beach. I went to this one time. She's a palm reader. She's like, you will have times of happy
And
you'll
sad.
have times of sad.
Yeah.
You'll have
Oh my
days when
gosh.
you're sick and days when you feel good. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's like, I just played tired. I was like, oh my gosh, dude, we may have to do this later another time. I'm getting tired.
Did he watch you leave?
Uh-huh.
Whoa.
Oh no, he was just looking at me. It wasn't smiling, wasn't frowning. He was just
blank.
Yeah, no, he was just, I think he knew I knew, but he didn't, I think he knew I was smart enough not to say a damn word. Creepy.
Did you go
I
to
was
the
creeped
police?
out. No, fuck no, I'm not going
Camille,
anywhere.
like,
I'm not doing that. I'm not putting my life in danger, no.
wow. What about
I think
here?
it had been years prior, to scientifically figure all that shit out.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen.
Have you ever been around or worked with somebody that was like in, say, like a mafia situation?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely had drug dealers and prostitutes. I have all walks of life come to see me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Hollywood to hookers, frankly. Yeah.
She's not talking about me, just saying. I've done
Pole
some
dancers.
crazy things for
Pole
you.
dancers. No, I've had, police, I've had detectives, I've actually gone
Wait,
on body
you used
hunts.
to, I was going to say,
Yeah.
you used to do that. Tell
I've
us
been
about
on
that.
body hunts, yeah. Now, there was a little girl in Kipling Davis who went missing when she was in high school, and her body, I believe, has been completely decomposed with lye, but it was moved from the crime scene, and I went on a body hunt. We did find a body, but it wasn't her.
Whoa.
But yeah, it was a little eerie. I given my kidnapping situation when I was a little girl, and then I had a daughter and I have a son, I couldn't do missing children for a while. I could probably now, but I had a call this morning, a father's missing, and I kind of helped one of my clients try to locate her dad, but he's got dementia, and I said he's gone with someone that isn't trustworthy, but I said keep me posted, but I feel like this guy's not going to be here long anyway. But so I find people with people all the time, so
Wow.
just tap in and I tried to talk to him, but he's got dementia.
Yeah.
So I can tell he's out of his body a little bit.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad. But
Wait, when you say talk to, do you mean psychically talk to him?
I'm trying to tap into him, his spirit, and go, where are you? What's going on? Are you okay? And I closed my eyes, kind of just sent a message to him and stuff, and it just kind of didn't really go through. He's either dead, okay, or he's just lost. And I think he's just lost, frankly.
When you talk to somebody like that, Camille, that has that type of disease,
Yeah.
mentally, can they pick up on you spirit to spirit?
Yeah.
Or are they, because they're not spiritually diseased.
They're not spiritually diseased, but the computer programmer, like the software's not working. Yeah. So they aren't translating their communication.
Yeah.
They're not lucid. And so they can't get their computer, their brain, to function and to communicate back.
Do you ever, like, you're out in public and you walk past somebody, do you ever just get like flashes like, whoop, there's a reading?
Yeah, and I try to get away from them. Yeah. But yeah, and I think they notice it. I mean, they kind of look at me like they'll start talking to me or something. But yeah, I'm just.
Because I know you've been in situations where you have spirits come at you and you're like,
Yeah.
after 9/11.
Oh God, yeah, yeah. I that changed my life. I couldn't sleep. I finally just had to say, I'm taking my space back. Don't bother me. I mean, I wasn't getting paid for these spirits talking to me. It was awful. I mean, I wanted to help them. I felt bad.
And these were the spirits that were killed?
Yeah, an instant death, unexpected.
And how did they
unplanned.
find someone like you? Because they're probably finding a lot of
People that listen.
intuitive people,
Yeah.
right?
Anyone that could probably listen. You ever see the movie Ghost? Oda Mae, whatever, and Patrick Swayze and Whoopi Goldberg. Yeah, that's kind of, I think, a little bit legit. I mean, I think that they're looking for someone who does have the ability to hear spiritually, and they tap in.
Wow.
So I mean, I have channeled. I mean, it's emotional, it's energy draining. I can't stand to do it, but I got, like today, I had a message. This father had died, and I told a woman, look, your mom's losing it. Get her some birds. Something about birds will help her. She's got dementia. Take the car keys. There's 2 cars. Take the car keys, and he doesn't want her driving, and you need to quit blaming yourself for something. And she started bawling. She goes, oh my gosh, we tried to keep him alive, and we intubated him, and it was so bad. And I said, he didn't blame you. He knows you're just trying to keep him alive, but don't, get over that.
So when you watch these shows, Camille, like Long Island Medium or Hollywood Medium,
She's working through another spirit. She's got a spiritual connection with a spirit, So Sylvia Brown does the same thing. She calls her friend Francine. It's actually Aima. So I've actually sat with Sylvia. I know Sylvia.
Sylvia Brown, in case y'all are like,
Sylvia Brown,
who?
yeah.
She was the chick that was on
Montel
Montel Williams
a lot,
forever.
Yeah, and her son now is doing psychic readings and stuff. I'm not sure if he's as good as her, but regardless, she works with a spirit named Aima, and I think Sylvia's got a talent, but look, there's like it's one spirit, and some of this Long Island meeting does the same thing. It's one spirit, and they're asking that spirit questions, or it's kind of a telepathic communication thing. So they're getting information from that spirit.
And your feelings of that is what?
Well, look, if they've got a trustworthy spirit on the other side that can get answers for people, if it helps, absolutely do it.
Right.
Oh yeah, I have no judgment around that. I think,
but I think
people need
TV
it.
makes the, like for instance with Teresa with Long Island Melanie,
Yeah.
it's always like people from the past. If somebody's like, they're all coming to her.
Yeah. Well, they gotta get ratings. So I mean, she's got to look like
well,
she's
that's
the
what I'm just
expert.
like
Yeah.
as a viewer watching it. I don't know this world. Is it all bullshit?
Some of it's probably bullshit. Some of it's probably not. There's another guy that does it. I can't remember his name, but there's an English guy that does it, and I think that's a little bit bullshit.
Really?
You got to be careful. Just because the spirit's out of body and it starts talking to you doesn't mean you should listen to it. Doesn't mean it's safe and trustworthy. Doesn't mean you're special. And I have an angel talking to me. It might be the devil disguised as an angel trying to get you to do something stupid.
Yeah.
So don't listen to all the spirits come your way. Just saying. I'm always discerning, and I'm very careful. I will always make sure that there's the light of Christ around me, because I do not want to get sucked into some sort of dark hole with a black being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when people say, for instance, they're going to go buy a property
Yeah.
or start a business or something that's tangible,
Yeah.
they're going to go buy a car or whatever. Are there spirits attached to those properties?
Well, yeah, there's spirits.
I mean, like say you're
Stuff.
buying a used car,
Yeah, if there's a death in it, for sure.
Oh wow.
So, there's certain kind of hauntings, and, I'm not the expert on this, but I do know about some hauntings. Some hauntings, think of a mass killing area, like, the Alamo. I mean, you go to those fields, and you could probably feel, you walk down there, and you're going to feel death. You're going to feel spirits, because there's so much spirit shed there. There's blood shed, but there's a spirit shed, like all that death happened at once. And so I was on, what was Howard Hughes' thing? It was the ship can't remember, the ship of Mary, whatever. Anyway, Greg, there was like the ship that actually went down, and there's a lot of people that died on it. Even the Titanic. I mean, people go into the Titanic. Anything with artifacts of the Titanic, you can pick up on that kind of feeling.
But do the spirits that die, do they stay there?
They stay in that vortex. It's like
Why?
definitely, I think that they're either trapped there, a lot of energy was spent there. And so it's like electrical field, no kidding. So that's where hauntings are. Like you can go to places that are haunted. There's a restaurant in Santaquin where our farm is. It was Greenhall Family Tree, and that's haunted. I think there was somebody that died around there.
Y'all, we did a story on Fox not too long ago. It's a museum now, but in Provo, it was like the original mental hospital.
Yeah, yes, up in Provo Center
there's
Street, yeah.
one cute little old lady that runs that place, and in this museum, it's all these torturous rooms and things, and I'm like, that place has got to be haunted.
Well, they probably had a lot of death there. But wherever you've got a lot of
torture.
death, you're spending a lot of spirit there in it. We spend our spirit in life. You know, if you have a traumatic event, you're spending a lot of spirit. Okay, so we are a commodity in a way, and so we are nothing but energy. We're a battery. When the battery dies, we die. Okay,
Yeah.
so but when some sort of large amount of death happens, or it was a traumatic death, you can go into that space and you will feel that kind of energy. So that's a haunting of a space and artifacts or stuff, right? And like the Titanic, those things would probably be permeated with those spirits too.
Sure.
And then there's people that haunt people. So when I talk to someone who's got something follow them around, it's either are they attached to you? Do they have a past life with you? They're trying to have some sort of balancing, a karmic balance or something. And I'm not interfering with that crap. That is no joke. I mean, some people have a spirit around them that they have a relationship with that being, either from a past time or something. And I'm not going to cast it out and have it come after me and get pissed off at me. They have something going on with that spirit. They need to work it out with that spirit, whatever it is.
And how do people do that?
I have a lie detector. It's like a biofeedback meter, and I put them on the meter and I ask questions. You know, has this being ever had its own body? Well, if it says yes, if it hasn't, then, you know, it's a little gremlin-y thing. It was sent by someone, and it has a, you know, robotic type intention. Slow you down, stop you, choke you, not let you breathe, whatever, harm you, you know, keep you awake, things like that. Or prevent you from having love again. It causes chaos in your relationships. Those little gremlin things are not beings that have their own body. But if you're dealing with a being that had its own body, you can have a dialogue with this spirit. And so I have people hold these cylinders and I ask questions. Yes, it's had its own body. Great. What's its intention? What, you know, like, what's it doing here?
Because maybe not all of them are evil, right?
Right. Well, they want something, and they want justice. They want some sort of balance. The theme I've seen is it will always say, you owe me something. You owe me your life. You owe me, you know, happiness. You owe me love. You owe me something. So they feel like this person living owes them something. So they're incomplete with that person. So that's the dialogue, and it's odd. I mean, it's weird. It's creeping me out some days, honestly. People go, this shit doesn't happen.
Do you even want them to sit and hold those cans, or are you just like, ooh, I
Well,
don't want to do this?
I want to get them better, and I
That's why you're a professional and you're so good. I'd be like, oh, hell no.
It can be scary. I'll tell you what. I had one guy that it was really interesting. He came in and he was in chronic pain. For 20 years, this guy was in pain. They couldn't help him. The doctors gave him painkillers. They didn't know why he was in pain. No real health issues. He was married to this cute wife, and his wife heard about me, and let's just go see this woman. So he comes in, and he wasn't even really there. I was there giving her a reading, and then he was there to kind of piggyback on her session. And I looked at him, I said, you know, you got some stuff going on, sugar. Anybody die around you you're incomplete about? And he's like, oh, God. And I said, what happened? And because I could feel something around him. And he said, well, she doesn't know. And I said, are you willing to tell her? You're ready to,
why?
Should I send her away? And now she's going, what? What's her name? And I said, no, that's not it. So here's what happened. And this guy was in chronic, back pain. He was always hurting and didn't know why. He would just fall down. He just had horrible, horrible pain. Nice guy. So 20-something years earlier, he was in France and he was in the war. And he somehow, he was drinking, partying with his buddies. I think he was a sailor. And he was flirting with this girl and, you know, hitting on her or whatever. He sees out of the corner of his eye, the bartender's going, oh, like, oh my gosh. Well, so my client instinctively knows something's coming at him, probably a guy.
From behind.
Right. So he kind of just got a little psychic for a minute, he said. And he had the ability to be a black belt, whatever. He turned around and this guy was coming at him with a bottle, like a jagged bottle. He was going to hit him in the back, kill him in the back.
Wow.
And that was his wife. He was hitting on the guy's wife.
Yeah.
So he turned around and he karate whatever, hit him in the side of the head or something, dropped him. Well, it killed him. This guy ended up dead, the husband. So my client's like, oh shit. And he said the whole bar, it was like that guy's energy from his rage just flew into a rage as soon as he dropped to the floor. Everyone started fighting.
Wow.
And he was on his hands and knees crawling out of that bar with him and his buddy. And they defected, that he kind of left his station, whatever. I don't even think he was from American. He was from another place. But long story short, he felt so guilty about killing that guy. It was not a holy or righteous kill because he shouldn't have been hit on the guy's wife. So I said, okay, you're ready to talk to that guy. And I had him hold the meter, and he was crying. And I said, what would you say to him? And he was so sorry. And I said, what would he say back to you? And you shouldn't have done that. I can't believe you did that. Whatever. I had my whole life ahead of me. I was 20, whatever. I can't. He was just so grief stricken, but he had not let this guy go. He was haunting him. He was after him. He was going to make him pay. And this guy was in chronic pain for 20 years. No kidding.
How do those kind of spirits have control over us? When
We let them. That man's guilt. Let this being hang out. And last I talked to his wife, he's off all painkillers.
Wow.
He's doing so much better. He doesn't know the guy's name. He knows nothing about it, but he's kind of done some little therapy group or whatever. He's trying to help anger management things. Really interesting.
So it makes you think, for those of you that have a belief in God, when you think about the fruits of Christ, and guilt isn't one of them.
Nope.
Fear isn't one of them. And when we are consumed by those feelings, and I know I've been in a situation where I've been super fearful of somebody. Yeah. And it
takes your energy.
This person's alive, but it does. It consumes
takes your power.
Your thought, your life. You live in a fear constantly. I told you, even this day, I don't like answering emails. I don't like opening the mail. I don't like when my doorbell rings. I don't like when my phone rings. I don't like any of that stuff unless I know what it is.
Yep. Oh, yeah. PTSD.
Literally it is.
Yeah.
I don't like, that stuff makes me nervous. Every time I hear ding, and that means I have an email, it's like, oh crap,
God,
please don't be something. You know what I'm saying? But I think sometimes when people don't know how to become strong themselves, they become weak for others.
Totally. Well, you're owned. There's a fight for power on this planet, and that's what goes on, and then you're trapped. You're stuck. You're held hostage.
Do you ever leave your office and that spirit goes, oh, hell no, I'm coming after you?
Yeah, I've had a few moments. Yeah. Man. When I was new to this stuff, I didn't
work
know.
here late. You make me nervous.
I know.
You go down to a dark
Tell
parking
the
lot.
world. Thanks for letting the world know to come out. Okay.
She's in California, y'all.
Oh, we in California. No, I have. It's a delicate thing. You don't want to mess with certain spirits. Yeah. And people that are getting haunted by this crap, I've called in other spiritual deliverers, exorcists and people that do deliverance. I've had them take things over. I'm not getting involved in certain things. I can't. But I can deal with, moderate stuff.
Like if somebody comes through your door, do you know right away if there's something
Typically.
with them?
Typically, yeah.
And do you let them know, or you let them figure it out?
Depends on the spirit, but they'll usually tell me, I got something going on. I feel like I'm being watched. I can't sleep at night. I have sleep paralysis. I can't breathe. I'm trying to get back to my body. I feel like I can't talk. Wow. No, there's certain things, yeah.
And I think, just see those lights. Wow. I do think maybe, and you tell me if I'm wrong, but people need to pay attention to what's going on in their life.
Yeah, they do.
And just like the guy that's been in chronic pain, if you don't have a reason for it, why not think beyond the box and go, maybe.
Well, I think the guy even was inviting it. He deserved it. He wanted to be punished for what he did.
Yeah. His guilt was just overcoming him.
I feel bad.
And my gosh, he was only in his 20s too.
Yeah, he was like 23 or 24.
Time.
Yeah.
Do you think people manifest diseases on themselves?
Absolutely. Disease is dis-ease. Yes, of course. Oh, yeah. And then we're supposed to learn something from it. The body is like a pet. It has the intelligence of like an animal, like a pet. Like it is your pet. And so it wants to serve you, the spirit. It wants to serve you, the inhabitor of the body. And sometimes when bad things or scary things happen, we leave the body. We jump out of our skin going, I ain't doing that. Right. A car wreck, we're out of the body. So the body's going through the stuff alone, right? So it's kind of like, what? It feels a little abandoned. You can actually communicate with your body to help it heal. So the body is its own little unit. We aren't our body. We're not our thoughts. We're not our feelings. We are the observer inside the body. Right. Having a human experience, but we're spirits.
I know I've heard people say, people that live a whole life of being evil can create diseases based on their lifestyle choices.
Totally.
Whether it's physical or an emotional choice, they can manifest cancer or whatever it might be simply because of choices.
That's right. Oh, sure, absolutely.
I believe that. I really do. I think if you have that much bad,
JoJo.
Yeah, and your whole, your motives are always bad, it just isn't going to work.
No.
That's not God's plan.
Well, the body can't tolerate it.
Yeah.
It also can't tolerate being numbed out all the time. Drugs and alcohol. I think of, some famous, favorite stars of mine. Steve McQueen. He was larger than life, but he was deaf. people that know he was deaf in one ear, and he was a horrible smoker. I mean, the guy just numbed out. You can't do that your whole life and survive it.
It'll catch up.
It does, because you don't evolve, you don't emote, you don't deal with your pain.
Yeah.
And his mother was a prostitute. He didn't know his dad, so he had a hard life.
Right.
People did not know him. He's Mr.
I
Cool.
sometimes think, Camille, that when you have a celebrity situation, we don't really we know them in the then and the now. We don't know where
they're
came
human,
from.
right?
And we usually don't know that till after they die.
Right. Sad. Yeah.
Marilyn Monroe. Oh, hang on, now we understand.
Well, Marilyn didn't have parents, really. She was raised by neighbors. Okay, her mama worked all the time, and her daddy was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even think she knew her daddy. So yeah, sad.
Wow.
Norma Jane, cute name, Norma Jane. But I think they compensate. They want to go into. They'll become somebody. This is the thing about loving yourself as you are. You aren't. If you become somebody, it doesn't mean anything. Because you're in front of cameras doesn't mean anything if you don't love yourself.
Well, and you were talking about David Cassidy, and actually, heck, there's been so many performers.
Oh, yeah, David Bowie.
That when they're standing there on stage and they have countless seas of faces and personalities they don't know.
Yeah, loving him.
There's a fake love.
That's right.
That's coming at them. But then when they have to go be alone in their thoughts, whether it's in their house or a hotel room or something like that,
they don't feel
that's
that.
hard to deal. I mean, and I would think you can become addicted to that sensation of feeling like now all these strangers accept me. But I go around people that I actually care about or I love, and I don't feel like they do.
Yeah.
So I get why they have a need of I just want to end this.
Well, and there's a high suicide rate among people like that have it all. They have money, they've got whatever. Sorry, you guys hurry up and get past
911.
Yeah, there's a high suicide rate because again they have it all. Anthony Bourdain, these people, they don't have one-on-one relationships that can make a difference. And even, I don't care what job you do. I don't care if you're an actor or if you're, a janitor. If you don't have connection with human beings that really matter, that you matter to them, they matter to you, and you're needed and they need you, there's no real reason to be here. Okay, we need each other. Yeah. And my concern is these gadgets that we in my work as people, my practice is relationship expert stuff. People are further and further apart because of their gadgets, because of their screens. People have forgot the art of communication, the eye contact, the verbal cues. I mean, there's so much juice and love and all these endorphins exchange when you hug for 20 seconds or more, by the way. You have to hug for 20 seconds or more to get the value of a hug, okay? But you know that? It's true.
A guy, I'm like, come here.
But you got to have 20 seconds to really get the value of that love, the endorphins, and the oxytocin that actually starts getting created in your body.
I don't know of a lot of people that hug for 20 seconds.
I do my kids. I'm like, get over here. You get over here and sit next to me, But there's definitely there's missing, when we lose that intimacy, not just sex. Sex isn't just intimacy, it's into me, you see. Yeah. When you lose that intimacy, you lose connection to earth and to grounding. And then you are just a face, you are a performer. But that becomes an escape as well.
So
you perform to escape.
Our prison systems, when they are in solitary confinement.
Oh, God. I can't imagine.
That's not an answer.
No. That's kind of what their probably whole childhood was about, frankly.
Right.
They're already alone.
Yeah.
Robert Williams was alone. He was an only child, and he had parents that were kind of, they're wealthy, but they really didn't have a lot of, good communication skills. They fought constantly, and he was always joking to try and get related to. He knew that humor was a way to kind of get related. But in a way, that was a tool to get something. It wasn't really him being authentic, So, again, you learn this stuff, after they go. But these people are struggling with something, And
usually fame doesn't happen.
No. It's not a solution to the problem.
No, but I'm just saying, usually it's not like an overnight, like boom. I mean, they have been working.
It's 25-year overnight success.
To build, right?
Yeah.
Unless maybe you're like a Disney star.
Unless you're Miss USA or something. It was
look at our podcast. I'm so famous. No, but what I'm saying is, these people have played the part for a long time.
Usually.
And that is their career choice. But I do think sometimes it turns into it becomes their survival.
Yeah.
And my mom always said, you know what? You're lucky to have a handful of really close friends in life.
Oh my gosh.
You have a lot of acquaintances, but a handful of really close friends that love you no matter what.
And they'll get you through it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think in my adult life, I've had a handful.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're the type that, and y'all, you know this expression, like it doesn't matter where you left off in life, you pick right up where you
leave
were.
off. That's right.
And I think about you, and I just think, we somehow connect spirit to spirit. And I don't mean like,
We do. We have a
but
similarity.
like our humor does. I mean, there's just so much that is a connection that I think to myself, why am I still in this state? If nothing else, it's Camille.
Oh.
You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
you never, there's always a reason.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there's a reason.
Your people. I'm your person. Yeah. Yeah, I get them.
Yeah. So,
Thank you.
we don't know. This kind of went, in Texas, we say you just went around the campfire a long ass way to get to that marshmallow.
Yeah. We never know.
That may
We
be what
just-
just happened.
we
But
go.
if you're like me, Camille is fascinating.
Oh.
And what
sweet.
Camille goes through, not only as a therapist and a counselor and a life coach
A lot
and
of
an
weird
author,
things.
I mean, not only that, but your gifts of how you help people are totally fascinating.
It's not traditional at all.
If
We
you were
are
on
not
Netflix, I'd watch you.
Wow. Oh, that's a good idea. I think I should get on Netflix.
Hey, Netflix. Hey, NYX. I'll do this. Netflix, you do that.
I'll Gab. She does the
shoot.
looks. Did you drop my
I
pencil?
know.
What
Jesus
is it?
got a hold of that and it went crazy. Anyway,
Thank you.
thank you guys.
Yeah.
Have a great night. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Oh, maybe.
Maybe.